Home entertainment systems. Now, this is going to be part one, which is the evolution of home entertainment. And then I'm going to give you an introduction to the audio-video receiver. And let's face it, folks, we've come a long way from one speaker inside a television set. Now, I want to preface that I am not an audiophile. I know there's folks on our session today that have a lot more experience and a lot more knowledge than I do, but let me just tell you where I'm coming from. The evolution of home entertainment, where did that all start? Well, it probably started with someone playing an instrument and perhaps singing to while the rest of the family or friends gathered close by to watch and listen. You know, this was before the technology age. What then came was listening to radio broadcasts. And I remember as a young boy having a large console unit that was part of the main room's furniture, and where one or more would be able to listen to world and local news and a variety of music offerings. Now, the one in my home actually had a built-in shortwave radio band. Black and white televisions, they came next, replacing radio, and the family members could now watch as well as listen, with early screen sizes smaller than today's computer monitors. Television turned into color and came in a variety of sizes, with some households having as many as two. Imagine having two TVs in your house. And then the CRT, cathode ray tube televisions became digital, and the rest is a history we've all experienced. So home entertainment has changed. Yes, thanks primarily to COVID-19. There may have been other factors. We are mostly staying at home now to watch movies instead of going to the local theater. There's a trade-off. Instead of watching on a giant screen from far away, we're looking at a big screen television from several feet away. Now, there's many pros to this. Streaming provides thousands of choices, more than the largest movie theater ever could. And you don't have to contend with the couple behind you talking while the movie is playing. Or how about the kids kicking your seat while you're trying to watch the movie? Refreshments are nearby and usually exactly what you're in the mood for. And you can be dressed pretty casually. How about even in your pajamas? And travel time is measured by going from one room to another. Now, there is one big con. Unless you have a quality sound system, your ears are missing the sensory impact that today's modern technologies provide. So this is where the audio-video receiver comes in. These AV receivers, in one respect, haven't changed too much from the two functions that were provided at one time when these were separate units, separate components. You have an amplifier, and that takes a small signal and increases it to provide enough power so you can hear sound from your speakers. And then the older standalone receiver, that provided the AM/FM radio tuner, the preamp that was necessary to increase power for a turntable, volume controls, input selections, and more. Today's modern audio-video receiver works with the latest audio and video technologies from several sources, including streaming services, DVD and Blu-ray players, gaming devices, even your smartphone. Now, this is what gets confusing with, I think, the AV receivers, the different kinds of speaker connections that you can have. And they're all based on a number. And the number tells you everything. Now, I put down 2.0 here, and that's not really for video, though. It's a basic two stereo speaker setup typically used to listen to music. The two represents two speakers. And the next one is 2.1. And the 0.1, when you see that 0.1 number, that's adding to the above a subwoofer for the additional bass and depth. 3.1 adds a center channel speaker. This is really helpful when watching movies to help with the dialogue. 5.1 is probably the most popular setup that adds two rear speakers, and now you have surround sound. 7.1 adds to above two more rear speakers for fuller surround sound. And some people in a real large room might want to have a second subwoofer. That would be 7.2. And now there's even a third decimal point coming into play. This adds two ceiling or upward firing speakers. These are now known as Dolby Atmos, and that gives height to surround sound. What do I mean by height? Well, for example, if the sound of a helicopter in a movie, you'll actually be hearing that from above instead of from the sides. So when you're looking at buying an audio receiver, you'll see these kinds of numbers in the description, and that's telling you what that receiver is capable of handling. Now, audio video connections, they went from simple to complex, and now thankfully they're back to simple. You had composite, and we call them the RCA plugs, and you could tell them easily. They were identified by the colors at the end. The red one was for the right speaker, the white for the left speaker, and the yellow for video. No longer used in modern equipment because this setup does not support high definition, the HD picture quality we also much enjoy. You had S video for a while. The S stood for super, and that was an improvement in quality to the yellow, but also does not support HD. And then component came around. This was probably at the beginning of the 2000s, and that was a video quality improvement that required 3 more RCA cable type cables. These colors were blue, green, and red, just to transmit the different parts of a video signal, the color and the brightness. Now with this setup, you had these 3 video connections plus 2 more for audio for every video source you had, such as a VHS player. This is what the back of a receiver might have looked like in those days, trying to have a connectivity for every possible connection. So high definition came into place. HDMI, high definition multimedia interface, a very welcome addition to the world of audio and video connectivity because it replaced all the numerous wire connections needed for a multimedia experience to just one cable. This one cable provides both high definition video and time for a phone call. High definition video and multi-channel audio that is commonly found in today's theatrical movies, and it's a versatile connection which is found on input devices like today's modern smart televisions, as well as output devices that include computers, gaming consoles, Blu-ray, and DVD players. So this is what you should know about the HDMI specifications as a consumer. Now the connectors, there's actually 3 different types of connector. Type A is the one we're all used to, standard, most common full-size connection, but there was a type C known as the mini HDMI, and that was a smaller version, and for a while that was popular on cell phones. And then there's even a type D, the micro HDMI, that goes on very small devices like a GoPro camera. And then the cable types are based on speed needed for sufficient bandwidth. So the standard will work just fine for a full HD experience using the 1080p protocol. You need to get the high-speed cable if you're going to be involved with 4K resolution. And then there's also a cable known as ultra-high speed, and that's for certain 4K and 8K resolution. Yes, 8K resolution is here. This is for you, Ron, because I know you're going to go out and buy one. A Samsung 65-inch 8K smart TV from Amazon is only $6,695.98. Now, this is the back panel of a modern audio video receiver. Eliminated are the connections for the video component and the yellow RCA cables. Instead, there are 5 HDMI inputs plus digital analog audio connections. A picture is worth 1,000 words, before and after. So what does your money buy you when you're purchasing a receiver? And now these are details and prices that are shown on Amazon in July. I'm not going to read all these details. I will point out that, say, with the first one, the ℍ𝕠𝕟 at $329, I always look at user ratings. And this got 4.4 out of 5 from 467 folks. And notice it says it's 5.2. So this tells you just by looking at that number what the speaker connectivity is. The next one is a Sony. This is personally, this is the model I have at home. And this one got 4.5 out of 5 from over 1,800 different user ratings. And then the more expensive one, the Denon, what does this have that makes it cost even more? Well, this has the ability to operate speakers in 2 different rooms from one receiver, and it works with Alexa and Siri, so you can control functions with voice. Again, it just depends on how much you need in the way of a receiver, how the prices range and the differences in them. So that's basically the end of part one. Now in part two, I'm going to cover more focus on speaker choices. The choices you have of multiple speakers. They're very popular today, sound bars. I know many folks who use headphones, and this is one I just learned recently. There are actually what's called neckband speakers that go around your neck for those people that don't like the speakers in the ear. So that's the end of this presentation. Thank you very much.
Have you ever wanted to fix an issue with a company and it's difficult to even find a phone number for that company? When you find the phone number, you call them and then you have to choose between 1 get this, 2 get that, 3 get this. And then once you press that number, then you have more choices. By the time you finish, you're not sure if you're in the right place. And then it says, "We value your business. Please hold, and a representative will be with you shortly." Don't you just love that? I'm Hewie Poplock, and I'm going to tell you how you can fix your customer service issues faster through a website called gethuman.com. Let's take a look at an example using this website to get an idea of what you can find out and what it does for you. Let's type in the name of a company. Let's use GoDaddy, and as soon as we type in a few of the letters, it gives us a sample, and when we click on that, let's examine this page to see what GetHuman will do for us and what we need to be careful of. So we're looking for a phone number for GoDaddy. They list a customer service number. They say the current wait time is 20 minutes. If you want to skip waiting on hold, you push this button. Let's do that and see what happens. They want you to put in your phone number. So skip hold and get called by GoDaddy.com. The GetHuman phone waits on hold so you don't have to and calls you when a rep can talk. And it's free. You tell them what phone number to call you back on. They'll start dialing GoDaddy.com, and the estimated time you save by letting them wait for hold is 19 minutes. We build this free tool for customers to skip past phone menus and long waits. We hope you like it. We are often asked why and how we do this. And the answer is easy. For one, we don't think that you should have to wait on hold for long periods of time to talk to organizations you do business with. As for how, the calls are expensive for us to make, but you can see we offset that cost by showing you advertisements on this website. We hope this saves you some time. Now, those advertisements, you need to be very careful. If you click on one, and I did just to see how much it actually would cost me. This one, it says chat with an expert online now, and when you open it, it opens up. Let's do it. It takes you to another website, gives you a person ready to talk to, and you're ready to talk. However, what you don't see really easily is right here. It says, okay, got it. I'm sending you a secure page to join this company for only $1, fully refundable. When you're filling out that form, I'll tell the expert about your situation and then connect you to. Well, that $1 is just a trial. If you accept it, you then are charged $50 per month for the service. So we're not really interested in doing that. Okay, so we're back to the GoDaddy page again. So be careful on pressing any of the ads. There's another one up here. We chose that one. Here's another one over here. They all are going to charge you money. GetHuman does not. So here's how it works. Tell us what phone number to call you on when we have a GoDaddy rep for you. We dial, navigate through their phone maze, and wait on hold for as long as it takes while you relax or do as you please. When we finally reach an agent, we call you back. You pick up the phone and talk to GoDaddy.com. Simple. We get it. The phone menus are confusing and so on. So it goes, and it saves you the time, and they do it for you. Now, why is it free? We get that question a lot. It sounds too good to be true, right? Well, the truth is that the service costs a lot of money to run since we call you back with when a rep can talk. Given that over 100,000 customers per day use GetHuman, that's a lot of phone calls to pay for. By being innovative and leveraging technology, we're able to operate the service at a reasonable cost such that we can keep it running. To have them call you back, you just put in your phone number. Right now, the average time is 19 minutes. Let's look at a different company. As we go back, we see another ad. We're going to close that. Facebook. Let's click on that. They give you a phone number, but they also tell you nobody answers this number. Their best help, Facebook's help desk. Instead, and that's a link, and it takes you to it. Instead, tell us why you're calling. GetHuman walks you through our best tools, fastest contacts, and reminders. So they have some things. So if you're having a problem with a page, you click that. I'm going to click it and tell it to open the new tab so we don't lose our spot. Then we go to that tab. You fill some information out. They will take that information and try to match it to a guide that they have written to help you. So they will try to help you even if there isn't a phone number or you don't want to use the phone number. Let's use one we were talking about the other day on Tech for Senior, and that's going to Costco. Now, you'll notice here you've got Costco.com, but you also have Costco Canada. And I know several of you are from Canada, so let's take a look at that first. It gives you a customer service number, tells you what the wait time is, and the number. And then it gives you some sample questions that you might have. And then there's some information about the customer number by the numbers. Is there a callback available? And there's no. But is there a call picked up by a real person? Yes. And then navigate through the maze to a human. Press 1, then 4, then 1. And that should get you to a human being. The current wait is 6 minutes. And it was last updated on the 28th of July. And this time, Costco US, there's a customer service. There is a wait time of 17 minutes. If you want to skip that, you click this. And they will call you back when there's a human being to talk to. So let's see what else they have on the website. As we scroll down, there are all of the most popular phone numbers of several companies here. You can choose any one of those, or you can go to all companies A to Z. When you do that, you'll see the alphabet is available. They have several pages of them. That way they get an ad in each time you change the page. And down here at the bottom, how-to guides. Let's take a look at how-to guides. These are recently searched companies, and they have guides for them. So if we wanted a Walmart guide, and they have many questions that people have asked, how do I get a refund from Walmart? And they have a guide for that. Notice another ad. There's an ad over here, so you've got to be careful what you choose, but you can read down here, and it tells you the process and the information that you have to have. And again, another ad, or why did GetHuman write, how do I get a refund from Walmart? Because after thousands of Walmart customers came to GetHuman in search of an answer to this problem and many others, they decided it was time to publish instructions. So you can find a lot of instructions and a lot of ads. So there are many guides to take a look at. Here are recently searched phone numbers, and these are some of the major companies that people have been looking for. To help find a company phone number, get right to a rep, GetHuman.com a try. But be careful, don't click on the ads or realize you're clicking on an ad that may cost you money. GetHuman.com, website of the week. I'm Hewie Poplock.
Did you realize that old surge protectors can turn out to be a fire hazard? There's nothing better than knowing that your valuable electronics are safe. And surge protectors give you that peace of mind for a very low price. but only if you replace them every few years. While the old surge protectors in your home may seem to function normally, they likely offer zero protection for your electronics. They can also become a fire hazard. So how do surge protectors work? Most people use the term power strip and surge protector interchangeably. But a power strip is just a big plastic thing that gives you extra outlets. Surge protectors are much more useful. Not only do they give you extra outlets, but they regulate the amount of power that your electronic devices receive. Think of surge protectors like a pressure release valve. When the incoming voltage is too high, they send it to the ground instead of letting it hit your electronics. And if the voltage is too low, your surge protector increases resistance to keep electronics functioning normally. A surge protector can keep your electronics online during a voltage sag. They're most useful during power surges. As the name implies, a power surge sends an excess of voltage through your home wiring. This spike in voltage can destroy or damage electronic devices. And unfortunately, the damaged electronics are a common source of house fires. Surge protectors are an essential item in any home, and at the very least, you should use them to defend valuable electronics from power surges. But you can't just use the same surge protector for the rest of your life. They need to be replaced every few years. Unfortunately, surge protection wears out over time. When surge protectors receive an excessive load of electricity, they divert or shunt the extra power to ground using a metal oxide varistor. But in the process of diverting its power, the move exposes itself to the excess voltage. And over time, it wears out. Every surge protector has a rating that describes how much excess voltage the move can handle. This rating is in joules. Most power strips are equipped for 800 or 1,000 joules, while more expensive models can handle several times that amount. But this rating is cumulative. It's like health points in a video game. If a surge protector that's rated at 1,000 joules is hit by 100 joules during a thunderstorm, then it can only handle another 900 joules. Once a surge protector's health points fall to zero, it no longer offers surge protection. It can become a simple power strip that won't protect your electronics or your home. As I mentioned in the beginning, old surge protectors are a fire hazard. Once a surge protector is used up, it becomes increasingly sensitive to low voltages. And that's a problem, because it will still try to soak up excess voltage and send power to the ground. If it's hit by a large power surge, it may become damaged, which creates a fire hazard. It could also overheat and immediately catch fire. Plus, an old surge protector offers little protection for your electronic devices. These devices may become damaged due to the lack of surge protection, and that damage leads to its own fire risks. Even if we ignore surge protection altogether, surge protectors tend to be crammed behind furniture and appliances. They're in the nastiest parts of your home, and they collect dust, crumbs, hair, and dead bugs. Flammable stuff that slowly builds up over the years. These are not theoretical risks. As the Consumer Safety Guide explains, functional surge protectors lower the risk of a house fire, but old or broken surge protectors are often the cause of a fire. So please replace your old surge protectors. If you find this video helpful, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and get involved. So the right question to ask is, when should you replace a surge protector? Unfortunately, you can't really tell when a surge protector needs replacing. Experts generally agree that you should replace surge protectors every 2 or 3 years, which is good but a somewhat costly rule of thumb. And while you might think that a fancy surge protector will last longer than one that's only rated for 200 joules, that isn't necessarily the case. A large power surge can exceed 1,000 joules and instantaneously wear out the more expensive surge protectors in your home. A high joule rated simply provides extra peace of mind, especially for valuable or sensitive electronics. There are some power strips that have a surge protection LED. This light will turn off or turn on to tell you that surge protection is no longer functioning properly. It's a useful feature, especially when paired with sensitive electronics, but it isn't 100% reliable. When you buy a new surge protector, I suggest writing the date on its backside. That way you'll know to replace it when it's 2 or 3 years old. Think about recycling old surge protectors when it becomes time. Every city has its own recycling process. If there aren't any dedicated e-waste facilities in your area, you may need to call your city's waste department for recycling instructions. Or you could use a website to find a recycling location near you. It might be easier to go to Best Buy for electronics recycling. All Best Buy locations offer e-waste recycling and may give you a gift card if you recycle something of value. Be sure to read the detailed article on this topic by Andrew Heinzman at Review Geek at the following link. Stay safe, stay secure, and I'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.